Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin and today I am doing my first check-in for my 24 in 2024. I did post my original video, I think back in November of last year, outlining the 24 items that I wanted to pan this year. I did tell you guys that I am going to do quarterly updates because a lot of these things are rolled into other projects, so you will see progress throughout the year, but I wanted to bring them all back together and go over our progress for the first quarter. So I do already have a couple empties and I have a basket full of things that I've made progress on. So let's go ahead and look at the 24 items that I want to pan in 2024. So like I said, I do have 4 empties and I have them in this Ziploc bag because I want to keep them separate in my big empties bin that I keep in my closet. So let me make some noise with this. But the first item that I was able to use up at the very beginning of the year was my Makeup Geek liner in Nude. I really do like this tone for the inner rim of my eyes to really brighten up my eyes. And I ended up using this up 4 days into the year. This is one of those pencils that you can click it up, but you can't click it back down. No, this can click up and down. This is one that it was breaking, so I couldn't roll it all the way up because the product would kind of just disintegrate. Of course, we know that Makeup Geek did close down, and so this came free in an order that I made late last year. But this was a very surprising and kind of sad rollout at the beginning of the year because I really did like that color. Now, I did not use up anything in February, but we did have the remaining 3 that are empties in March, and then you will also see these empties in my buys and buys, so forgive me for kind of repeating myself with these things, but that is the video that I go over my empties and my haul, so that will actually be the next one posted after this one, so you guys will see these products again. But the next item that I was able to use up is actually my NYX glitter glue. So this is completely done. I squeezed out everything that I could. I didn't cut it open because this just would become very, very messy if I did, but I got everything out of there that I absolutely could. And if you guys are looking to be using your NYX glitter glue up, this empty is 3.71 grams. So you guys might be able to tell how close you are to using yours up. But I purchased this and opened this back in 2022 and used it every single day that I did my eyeshadow. And in total, I went back and I totaled all the times that I did my makeup in 2023 and in 2022 leading up to August. And I used this 443 times to use it up, even though it only has a 6 months shelf life. Riddle me this. But glad this isn't empty. I already did repurchase and I'm using my new one now. Then the next item that I was able to use up is my ColourPop / Soul Body bronzer. And this has seen better days because, well, it's empty, but you can hear, maybe you can hear, but this plastic does not do well with me reheating it and remelting it. So the plastic did end up chipping near the end of me using this. And I just ended up remelting this into like an empty, like powder compact. And that is how I got the rest of this used up. But I've already repurchased this. This is my Holy Grail cream bronzer. I do get it in the shade Light. And so this one was used up. I did track this one, so 206 uses total is what it took me to use up this product. And then our last empty, you guys saw this in my last Project Pan video, which thank you to everyone who commented your suggestions for me rolling something else in for my e.l.f. primer. I have noted them all and I might end up putting up a poll in my like community tab or like my post tab. I might put up a poll to get you guys to give me a little bit more feedback about how you want me to roll in my next item in my Project Pan. But here nor there. I just wanted to say that before I got too far into the month. But this is my Shiseido not light reflecting, that is the NARS. This is the Shiseido Synchro Skin Radiant Lifting Foundation. I used this completely up. I tracked it in my project pan, so I had all of my markings, and I did take the top off. I got everything out. So with this one, I had 105 total uses on this foundation to use it up, and those are my 4 empties that I've been able to use up so far. So that means that we still have 20 items to go. Now, if you guys saw my Frankening video where I Frankened all of my highlighters, we will be having some shifting and some changing with some of these products, but I still will have a total of 24 items that I'm working on this year. But let me go ahead, I'm gonna make a little bit of noise and cut this out, but let me organize my products and then we'll get into my remaining 20 items so you guys can see all of the progress that I've been able to make. I was also looking back on my other footage from my original video, and I filmed it when I had my Christmas tree up, and I did all of my B-roll shots in front of my Christmas tree, and it makes me really, really miss my Christmas tree. So it'll just be my regular background for my B-roll shots today. And also when I turn my face, you guys might see a little friend here. Little hormonal friend, a little cystic friend that popped up, but I've been really good about not trying to pop it. I just put my pimple stickers on it and I've been leaving it alone. But I had 2 primers in here. So the first one is the e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer, and this is just a mini, and as you guys can see, I am making really good headway on this one. At the beginning of the year, we were at 13.9, now we're at 10.95, so pretty much I've used up 3 grams of this, so that's really exciting. I do only have a little bit left of this. This is not my favorite pore filling primer. I only use this on the sides of my nose and a little bit onto my cheeks. I am oily, so I do have some larger pores around that area, but I only have that much left. And after I use this up, this is not something I would go back to. I'm not the biggest fan of the formula. And speaking of not big fans of the formula, this is the Hard Candy Sheer MV Hydrating Primer Makeup Grip. I've had to roll this in and roll this out of my project pans a couple times because this is just not behaving and meshing with my current foundation. So I just did roll this back out because it's not meshing with my current foundations. So I don't know what I'm going to end up doing with this. I still want to have it in this project. I did just order a new foundation to be able to use through the summertime. And if this does not mesh up with that foundation either, this might need to be rolled out and something else rolled back in the next update for this project, because I can't let my foundation and my base makeup look like garbage to be able to use up this primer. So speaking of the foundations that I am using right now, I do have both of them rolled into my 24 in 2024, and that would be the Misha BB Cream and the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Natural Radiant Foundation. So these two. So this one is currently in my project pan, and this one I've been using kind of in the background. So as you guys can see, this is one of the airless pumps, but we are quite far down on this one. I have been mixing this in with my other foundations, so I did mix this in with my Shiseido foundation, and I am mixing this in with the Juvia's Place, mainly just to kind of make it a little bit more dewy, but also this gives it a little bit more of a cool toned because it does have like a gray base to it, so it really does help kind of cool down my foundations. And with this one here, I marked it on the back with nail polish in my project pan, so we're all the way down to here. So that's a lot of use. I think there was quite a bit of air in here, so I did get a lot of the air out, and that's where we're at. So I'm curious how long it'll take me to use up the rest of this foundation, but I don't think it'll be very long, especially because, like I said, I bought myself a new foundation. When Ulta sent out the 20% off even prestige brands, I did go ahead and I grabbed myself another foundation because these are the only 2 complexion products in my collection. So once these 2 are gone, which I think they'll be gone about the same time. Once these 2 are gone, I do not have any other foundations in my collection. So I personally think these will be done by our next update. So we will see those become empties very soon. So with my foundations, I do have my e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter, and I am working on this in my project pan as well. You guys had voted that you wanted to see me pan this throughout the year, so I have been keeping track of my markings. I mix this in with my foundations as well to give me a little bit of a glow to my skin, even though I'm oily, and I powder down. This adds a nice glow like from within through my foundations. So I've been making really steady progress on this. I love this product, and I kind of feel like I'll be done with this around November, and then I will go ahead and I'll reorder it because that is the second one that I have gone through. Let's look at some of my concealer products. So I did have my Bobbi Brown corrector stick rolled into this project, and this is how much we have left. Let me see if my camera will focus. Look at that. Tiny little nub left on this one. It does move relatively slowly, like when I'm tracking it, but this is a lot smaller of a nub on the product. Now I will dig the rest of this product out and probably put it in my empty Bobbi Brown corrector pot from last year. So I'll dig everything out, but I use this every single time I do my makeup. It is my Holy Grail corrector. I was kind of scared that they were discontinuing this, but they did restock and I can still get this shade. I think they actually expanded the shade range on these. So I don't know if they were like selling out on all of them and then doing another big order from their manufacturer with the new shade ranges, but I was able to find this again on the Bobbi Brown site. The other one that I wanted to focus on is my NARS Soft Matte Concealer. This is what I use for spot concealing, even though for some reason no concealers would cover this sucker. But I still do really love this potted concealer. You guys can see I have a dip in there. If you guys can see that, if the light's catching it right. I do have a dip in there from my finger, so I don't see there being a problem with me using this up. And is this a spoiler for my buys and buys? Probably, but I think I already spoiled it whenever I showed you guys like my collection and organizing, like how I organize my products in my vanity, which I'll link that up in the eye and down below. But I did repurchase this during the Ulta recent annual, semi-annual sale that they're calling their 21 Days of Beauty. I did repurchase this when it was 50% off. So the next item that is on my list is my Benefit Brow Pencil. So I have not started this yet. This is in 3.75, and this is the Gimme Brow Volumizing Pencil. So this is the one that you actually sharpen, and the tip already broke off of it. Fun times. But I am almost done with my ABH pencil that is similar to this that you sharpen. I think I maybe have a week left to use that, and those pencils usually last me about 8 months. So if I'm starting on it in April, depending on how, I'm curious if this will go quicker or slower than the ABH one. This is my first time trying this product, and I kind of wanted to test it out since the ABH one has been my holy grail. But depending on how quickly or slowly this one goes, this could be in for the rest of the year, but that's what I love using these pencils for, because they last so long. But that will be my next one that I am rolling in and using. And this was exciting during my project pan, and I picked up the wrong one. But the next two items are my Juvia's Place bronzers, and that was the pan that I was able to show you guys in my project pan, and it is just expanding even more. I'm filming this on the 6th, so I've used this 6 more days leading up to filming this video from my project pan video, so the pan is a tiny bit bigger, but this is the more cool tone in the Juvia's Place bronzer duos that is the light shade. And the companion to this one is the more warm tone shade, which I'll wear in the summertime once I have a little bit more color on my skin. So I have not touched this one at all because my main focus is the cool toned one that I am working on right now. But I basically started using this product the first day of the year. So I was able to hit pan within 3 months time. So definitely I have a feeling this will be going and this pan will be expanding very quickly. probably I'll be repressing it by May, and that feels good to get some bronzers out of my collection. So now we're looking at my blushes. And so I do have a goal to use up my Benefit Dallas blush. I do have this rolled into a prompt for Deck of Panning for a 25 use goal. And look at how much product is left in there. I don't want to repress it yet. I almost feel like I want to try to use it up while it's in this configuration. I don't know if I'll need to repress it into the center, but this is so close to being done. This blush is from 2017, so it is time for it to go, time for it to retire. I'm going to miss it dearly, but I do have a dupe of it already, but I am so close. I would say within the next, definitely by the next update, this will be gone, but I would say I'm going to try to finish it in my Deck of Panning prompt. So we will see what this looks like by the 20th. I'm trying to focus on this a little bit more, not only to get it finished up, but also to finish the prompt from Deck of Panning. But tune in for the 20th to see what this looks like once I use it a little bit more this month. Then the other blush that I have in here, and this is in my regular project pan, but this is the Ofra Chicklet blush, but I mixed both colors together and repressed. I love this. This was the blush that was on my cheeks in my project pan video, I believe. So this, oh, I love this so much. I'm not focusing on it as much because I've been rolling other blushes into like my Project 10 uses and also my Deck of Panning goals. So I haven't been using this as much, but once Dallas is done, and then this is the only blush that our powder blush that I'm focusing on within like my projects and within my 24 and 2024. But I do feel like probably in the next maybe 5 uses, I might hit pan on this. So I am kind of like leaning towards this one too. Once Dallas is done, I'm going to go hard on this blush and try to get this used up or as much as I can over the rest of the year. So the cream blush that I was focusing on is the ColourPop Blush Stick in Pretty Thing. Now I did, and I don't know if I went back into, I didn't see if it was still in its like stick form last video, but I did melt it down and I mixed it in to make my pinky cream blush. And I also have, which I'm going to film my blush repressing, quote unquote, my cream blush repressing after I'm done filming this since I have all my equipment out, but I don't know what order I'm putting them up in. But the red blush that is in the compact, let me grab it. This one right here that has the big old pan. So that has some of Pretty Thing in it as well, and I'm going to be taking the cream blushes out of here and putting them into my old e.l.f. powder containers. I'm going to be decanting and mixing and remelting, so stick around for that video. But again, we already have a huge pan on this one, but since I'm repressing everything into this blush, this is what I'm going to be focusing on. There is a lot of product in there. Let's see if the camera can see how high up that product is. So I don't anticipate using this up, and that's not kind of my objective. And if I end up melting any of my Marc Jacobs Infamous into here, it's going to fill it back up again. But my goal is just to focus on this maybe throughout the year, get over 100 uses on it for the year. And so I just want to make really good progress and focus on my cream blushes. Even though I use them every single day, I do want to focus on them and kind of track how I'm doing. So after that is my highlighter, and that gets another complication because I did have the Fenty Beauty Lightning Dust Fire Crystal rolled into this project, but as I said, I repressed all of my highlighters and they got repressed into my Tarte highlighting palette. So my new goal for the 24 and 2024 is I want to hit pan on every single shade here and expand as much as I can. Now, if I can use up this shade here that already has the massive pan, then awesome. But my goal for my 24 and 2024 with my highlighters is just to use the crap out of this palette. So I love that I repressed everything and I love the shades that I have here. So I would not go back and change that. But it did end up changing my goals because when I made this list, I don't think I anticipated repressing everything together. So that is the goal on my highlighter. So bringing Marc Jacobs back into the fold, this is my lipstick in Infamous. I've been tracking this in my Project Pan, and so it has gone down quite a bit. And so this is just our shade that we're looking at right there. Very beautiful. But again, I think in my Project Pan, I said that I'm going to give this to the middle of the year. And if I am just like forcing myself to use this color, I will go ahead, dig everything out, and melt it into my cream blush. So I still want to focus on this. And if I do melt it into my cream blush, maybe I'll like take the weight differences, and if I've used up the amount of weight that this adds to the blush by the end of the year, then I will consider this an empty. But I am still working on this lipstick. The other lipstick that I had in here is from Hourglass. This is one of their confession lipsticks, and this is in If Only. Now, I did go ahead and I put this in my purse as like my purse lipstick because it's nice and thin. And if I hold it up, you guys can see that it is further down in the tube. Like it was flush with the tube and brand new whenever I first started using it. So that's the amount of use that I've been able to make on this lipstick. It is very thin and there's not a whole lot of product in there either. So if I keep this as my purse lipstick, I should be able to use this throughout the year and get this used up. But I did recently just put this in my purse at like the beginning of March. So I am focused on that. Few more lip products. I do have my Summer Fridays lip balm, and I did get all the air out of there and I put a clip on there. So we are definitely going to be able to use this up. I do really like this formula. It feels very nourishing. I'm reaching for this to reapply throughout the day, and this is a beautiful formula as I wipe dog hair off of it. But we should not have any issue with this. This is something I would repurchase, even though, what is it, like the Naturium brand or something like that? I do want to look for those at Target to see if I can get something similar to this, but maybe at a lower price. But I really do love the Summer Fridays bombs. The lip gloss that I'm focusing on is from Sephora, and it is one of their just glossed. It says glossed bombs, but this is in the shade Busy. Now, because this is in this project, I have been keeping track, and this is actually the gloss that I have on today over a Pat McGrath lipstick, but I do have my markings that I've been making on it. So I started using this at the beginning of the year, and this is where we were at the beginning of April. So really good progress on this. It's a very comfortable gloss. It's not sticky. It doesn't make those like little things happen on your lips whenever you are talking. So I really do love this gloss, and I love it for the cool tone looks that I've been doing. So I don't see a problem with that. That is one of the contenders for me rolling into my Project Pan. So if you guys want to see me pan that gloss in a little bit more detail, let me know down below if you want that to be rolled in for my Project Pan for next month. We are down to our last two items, and they are both pencil products. So we do have my lip liner. So this is the ColourPop lip liner in Oh Snap, and I do have my little line marking right there about where we will be empty, and this is how much we have left. Look at that. Not a whole lot. So I am making very steady progress on this. It's a lip liner I'm wearing today because it is this cool toned pink. And I do have to sharpen this probably every 2 or 3 uses, so it's going relatively quickly. So probably middle of the year, we might be cutting it close with this being done for next update, but definitely it'll be way far down there near the middle of the year. And then the last item that I want to use up in 2024 is the Urban Decay eyeliner in Vice. And again, I have a little marking down there with where this will be empty. And we do not have a whole lot left, but it's a purple eyeliner, so it is a little bit more difficult because I'm not using this every day. But I am getting really good progress on this. Since this project, quote unquote, is going through the end of the year, this should not be difficult to use up by the end of the year. I just maybe need to focus on it a little bit more, but I've been rolling in quite a few eyeliners into my Project 10 uses, which I am still very much enjoying that project and rolling through my items. On my cheeks today, I have my Franken blush in Cleavy, and also on top of that is the NARS Orgasm blush, and that's creating this beautiful pinky look. And so I would not have paired those together if I had not rolled them into my Project 10 uses. So I love the randomized way that I am pulling items in. But those are my 24 items that I am going to use in 2024. I'm adjusting my products just a little bit because of all the frankening that I ended up doing, so I hope that you guys understand. I know a lot of you are enjoying watching my panning, not only in my regular project pan, but also in my project where I am just doing usage like deck of panning and also Project 10 uses. So I know that you guys are so supportive and I love hearing how you guys are doing. So this is the part of the video where I say do all the things. Make sure to hit a thumbs up on this video. Don't forget to subscribe for Project Panning, Conscious Consumerism, Eyeshadow, Puppy Dogs, all of that jazz, psychobabble, rambling about mindset, about consumerism. We do that here too. So make sure to stay tuned for all of that. And then also let me know how you guys are doing. Leave me that comment down below. You know I love our conversations. Let me know how you're doing. If you're doing a 24 in 2024, I know some of you guys were doing like 10 in 2024. Let me know how you are doing on your progress, but I have the 4 empties and I have a lot of progress on these items. So I think that we are well on our way to meeting a lot of these goals at the end of the year. But let me go ahead and sign off here so I can shoot my B-roll and then rearrange a little bit so that I can do that cream product repressing video that so many of you are looking forward to. I love that this community is like so excited about finding ways to use our products and not let things go into the garbage and not let things go to waste. I love that I have found my community here on YouTube through doing my projects and my repressings and all of that jazz. I love that. So let me go ahead and get all of that done and get that repressing video out to you guys. But otherwise, I hope that you guys have a beautiful day and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye.